This is their gift, okay? They're built to be thrown like a lawn dart.
1, 2, 3! The infamous scene from The Wolf of Wall Street, one of many infamous scenes. You may not know the name, Andrew Green, but if you're one of the millions of people who saw the Oscar-nominated film, you saw the character Nicky, also known as Rugrat, because of his terrible toupee. Well, Andrew Green says that character is based on him and has ruined his reputation. Now he's suing. Andrew Green joins me exclusively, along with his attorney, Aaron Gilson. Welcome to both of you. So, Andrew Green, you are not Rugrat, but your nickname was Wigwam. And you're saying, look, you worked there at Stratton Oakmont, which is the company, Jordan Belfort, who I interviewed, obviously, ran. This character in the movie, Rugrat, is clearly based on you. The nickname's just a derivative of it. Why are you so angry?
There's no issue that the character was me. I'm the only person in the entire book that Geordie decided to not only use my name, but my full name, Andrew Todd Green. I've known Geordie since I'm 10 years old. There are reasons why he went after me personally, which I hope that we'll get into. Mm-hmm. But I'm angry because I was harmed, I was humiliated. I was humiliated in front of my family, my friends. I was humiliated in front of a woman that I planned to marry. I lost my job. I'm in the middle of being admitted to the bar in New York. I'm talking to companies that are sub-companies to get involved with, trying to reestablish investment banking relationships. If you were me, and you were just portrayed as this deranged, degenerate, criminal, sex-craved lunatic,
okay,
would you offer me a job?
Well, I don't know. Let's go through these one by one. Which of those would you plead any kind of guilt to?
None.
You were the only person that the entire company was clearly like the Wild West at the time, who was none of those things.
I'm going to disagree with you that most of the people in that company do not deserve to be described that way.
Really?
Correct.
How many were crooked?
I would definitely say that there were a bunch of people that I found in my time. I was there for a few years.
Percentage-wise, how many were on the fiddle?
Couldn't really give you a percent, but there was definitely a group that I would say where people should have never been involved in the firm. And I spent 2 years implementing systems to provide a safeguard, a compliance for that firm. I was not only head of corporate finance, but as a board member, had to implement all of the SEC.
Just to kind of another thing, actually, as far as you're concerned, you never personally broke the law in all your time working there.
I'm proud of every single thing I did at that firm.
That wasn't the question. The question was, did you ever break the law?
No.
No. And you've never been accused of any offence?
No, sir.
So your real, I guess, issue about this is that Jordan Belfort, in his book and the movie, has depicted you as part of the general maelstrom of sleaze and degradation and indeed crookery.
I'm saying to you that Jordan Belfort, who was someone who I considered a brother, is selling a bill of goods to you and to the rest of the world right now, who grew up as somebody that had an inferiority complex, who was smaller than everyone else, who wasn't the best athlete, didn't have his first girlfriend until he was in college. What he's portraying to you is this Napoleonic complex that he had. When they say Wolf of Wall Street, I'd like to know anybody who can tell me that anyone ever called him that.
I think he called him that, didn't he?
Only himself.
Let's watch a little clip. This is from an interview that I did with Jordan Belfort. In fact, we re-aired it on Friday. Watch this. A female employee shaved her head for $10,000 in front of the baying mob of staff. True?
True. To get breast implants, so it's sort of even worse. It was like the whole idea.
To get breast implants, she shaved her head for $10,000.
Yes, and I guess the philosophy was, her hair would grow back and then it would all be perfect in 6 months. So that was it. It's amazing the rationalization. I think that was it's interesting that you brought that scene up because I think that was a scene that it personally disturbed me.
Now, obviously, in the movie, Rugrat, who they deny is you, they say it's an amalgamation of characters, but, you were called Wigwam, this guy's called Rugrat, you don't look massively dissimilar. I get why you're saying this is based on you. But in that scene, I think he's one of the ones holding the clippers. In other scenes, he's taking drugs, he's doing this, doing that. Are you saying that nothing that Wigwam does in the movie, sorry, that Rugrat does, which you're saying is you, Wigwam, that nothing that Rugrat does in the movie is accurately depicted?
I am not saying that.
If it's supposed to be you.
I am telling you that that was me, period. That I'm the only person who's in a position of authority when it came to corporate finance.
But did you do any of the things, Andrew Green, that Rugrat is seen doing in the movie?
Not a thing. When that scene that you just showed, I find highly offensive. First of all, if that happened, which Jordan said it did, prior to my time at being at Stratton Oakmont, maybe it did, I find it highly offensive to women.
Let me come to you, Aaron Gilson. You're the attorney for Andrew. He's obviously very angry about this. He's obviously got a completely clean record, never got even a suspicion of wrongdoing himself. You know, I can see why he would feel the way he does. Having said that, they would argue, look, this guy is not supposed to be Andrew Green. He's just a character based on a lot of characters that were there at the time.
Sure, but here is a situation where we have a character in the book that is directly named, directly identifies Andrew. The character in the movie is not dissimilar from the character in the book. The descriptions of the wig, the descriptions of his persona, even as an individual, I mean, you can see physically it's not too far of a step.
Why didn't you sue over the book if that was all there and they gave you the full name, unlike in the movie, which doesn't? Why didn't you sue the book?
Question. When I read the book, I only read parts of it, but the parts I found to be, quite frankly, I found to be a piece of trash that I didn't really think that anyone was going to pay any attention to that book. I really didn't. Now we're sitting here. We have some of the most brightest, most respected people in Hollywood who are giving interviews saying that their interviews of Jordan Belfort, and the reason why they didn't want to depict the investors and what happened is because they wanted to tell the story as it happened.
When you see Leo DiCaprio, as he has done, being very praiseworthy about what is Jordan Belfort's character now, what do you think of that?
I think he should be ashamed of himself. And I think that he's been sold a bill of goods because you even talked about it in your interview. Jordan called Gordon Gekko character as something that was just fictional. Jordy lived. His persona is the movie. He was loved being called Gekko. And if people would just look at Wall Street 1, that's Jordy. And then he gets arrested and he goes to jail. Then to Jordy, Wall Street 2 is, I come out of jail, I write a book, I now become a public speaker, I reinvent myself over in Europe, and then I find a way to start making my way back to the United States. He lives that persona.
Is he not entitled to rehabilitate himself? Lessons learned?
I loved him like a brother. I would love nothing more. Why he chose to throw me under the bus is a lot of reasons, because he needed to be in control of everyone.
Final question to you, Aaron. You've filed a lawsuit, have you?
We have.
How much is it for?
We're asking for $25 million.
And is it about money? Or is it about principle for you?
It is about principle. It is about my reputation. It is about my family. It is about losing the woman that I love. It is about me spending...
Why did you lose the woman you love?
While he's collecting himself, let me just be very clear. This goes to
No, I get it.
appropriateness of the
I've got to
the
leave you
lawsuit.
to this. Well, I've asked, I mean, you've mentioned that a few times. Why?
If you're going to plan to marry someone and spend the rest of your life on them, and then you start questioning because you're seeing these clips and then you see this movie of this individual who's being depicted as this depraved psychopath.
The woman that you loved believed this and left you,
Our relationship is over.
and you're blaming the movie.
Not just blaming. If we had the time, I can explain the details.
Okay, well listen, I'm going to leave it there. Andrew Green, Aaron Goldsmith, thank you both very much indeed. Coming up is one of the most quite unconventional people in the show business, but now David Arquette is playing the one role you might not have expected. He tells me why he's back on screen as a serial killer.